It's April and we all know what that means. Once again, the Olivier Awards are back to celebrate the last year of London theatre. This year is a fierce competition. Being such a strong year for both plays and musicals, it's anyone's game. From bold reimaginings of Sunset Boulevard and Guys and Dolls to newcomers like Operation Mincemeat and The Little Big Things, and of course heavy hitter plays like Dear England and Stranger Things: The First Shadow. With so many shows nominated, it can often feel a little bit overwhelming if you haven't seen everything. So today I'm going to walk you through every show nominated at this year's awards so you can feel ready to watch along. With a format heavily inspired by Musical Theatre Mash's Tony Awards videos, this is your Olivier Awards survival guide. Let's start with our new musicals. The little show that could, Operation Mincemeat has taken the West End by storm. From humble beginnings to gathering a dedicated fan base and now having 67 and counting 5-star reviews, Operation Mincemeat is a strong contender this year and leads the pack for new musical theatre with 6 nominations. 4 of these being for cast members David Cumming, Natasha Hodgson, Zoe Roberts and Jack Malone, with only Claire Marie Hall being snubbed of a nod in this 5-person cast. This is alongside nominations for Best Musical Contributions and Best New Musical.
Why don't you tell me about the last time you truly felt happy?
We waited over a decade for Next to Normal to come to the UK, and it came with a bang. The Donmar Warehouse's intimate version of this musical about a mother struggling with her disorder and her family life took audiences on an emotional roller coaster. With a West End transfer confirmed and a Broadway revival being whispered about, this award season is very important for Next to Normal. They have been nominated for 4 awards, acting nods for Casey Levy, Jack Wolf and Eleanor Worthington Cox, and Best New Musical.
My name's Henry Fraser. Now, massive spoiler alert, when I was 17 I had an accident and it changed my life.
The first musical to play at the fairly new at Soho Place, The Little Big Thing retells the true life story of Henry Fraser. After an accident on holiday leaves him disabled, Henry learns to readjust to his new life. A beautiful show that manages to forego a lot of the stereotypical tropes you'd often find in disabled stories. The Little Big Things provided a lot of representation in the West End's most accessible theatre. The Little Big Things is up for 3 awards: Choreography, Best Supporting Actress for the legendary Amy Trigg, and Best New Musical.
Okay, so I'm a black gay man who's writing a musical about a black gay man who's writing a musical about a black gay man, surrounded by his extremely obnoxious thoughts.
The only Best New Musical nominee to have transferred directly from Broadway this year, A Strange Loop comes off winning Best Musical at the Tonys. Can it continue its running streak here? A musical about a black gay man who's writing a musical about a black gay man who's writing a musical about a black gay man. A Strange Loop is a harsh look into the lived experience of black queer men in America today. Despite its heavy Tony Award wins, A Strange Loop has only been nominated for 1 award in this year's Olivier's, Best New Musical. Just for One Day, the Live Aid musical premiered at the Old Vic this year. This musical retold the story of how Band Aid and Live Aid came to be. Just for One Day is the only new musical this year to be nominated for an award but not be up for Best New Musical. This show managing to catch a nomination in the newly reworked Best Musical Contribution. Now let's move on to our musical revivals. Bold, imaginative, and so Jamie Lloyd, Sunset Boulevard not only took audiences by storm, but has also seemed to have pleased the panel at the Oliviers this year, as they have gathered the most nominations this season. Retelling the story of faded star Norma Desmond, this production stripped it all back and blended intricate camera work with brilliant staging to create a theatrical experience that just stays with you. Sunset Boulevard is up for 11 awards this season, including nominations in every single acting category, the only musical of the season to be nominated for Best Direction and Best Musical Revival. The Bridge Theatre did what we didn't think they'd do. They've put themselves up for Olivier's contention. If I'm correct, this is the first time the Bridge has ever allowed itself to be eligible for the Olivier Awards. They finally paid the salt fee, and now their first eligible show, Guys and Dolls, is up for 9 awards, joint second most nominated show of the season. Guys and Dolls is the story you know and love about gamblers in New York City, but this time, you're a part of the action, with the stage rising around you as you stand amongst the sinners of New York City. Guys and Dolls' bold, immersive revival is up for 9 awards this year, including acting nods for Cedric Neal, Daniel Mays and Marisha Wallace, Best Set Design, and Best Musical Revival.
All we have to do to save this place is just put on a show.
A transfer from Chichester Festival Theatre, a theatre name that I always struggle with saying, Crazy for You brought a taste of the old school back into the West End. Bobby dreams of being a dancer, but instead he's working in a law firm. When he's sent to a dead-end town in the middle of nowhere, he discovers a gem of a theatre and pretends to be a famous choreographer in order to put on one last show to save it. A hilarious tale of mistaken identity and full of some of the most gorgeous choreography I've ever seen. Crazy for You has picked up 2 nominations, a Best Actor nod for Charlie Stemp, and a nomination in choreography, surprisingly being the 3rd most nominated musical revival this season, but still missing out on a nod for Best Musical Revival.
Orpheus was a poor boy, but he had a gift to give. He could make you see how the world could be in spite of the way that it is.
If I had a nickel for every time Hadestown has been done dirty by the Olivier Awards, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's probably enough to get me a ticket to the Underground. Hadestown has made a triumphant return to London after their pre-Broadway tryout at the National's Olivier Theatre. A version of the show that didn't actually pick up any Olivier Award nominations, but because of its eligibility has found this version of the show stuck into the Best Musical Revival category. An old song that's still as relevant to today. Hadestown combines the myths of Orpheus and Eurydice and Hades and Persephone and sets it with a New Orleans-inspired jazz score. Hadestown is sadly only up for 1 nomination this season, Best Musical Revival, which is honestly a crime, especially to this phenomenal cast who deserve some love. Last summer, the long-awaited UK return of Groundhog Day happened as the show once again took to the stage at the Old Vic. Very fitting knowing the themes of this musical. This production was essentially a remounting, but it's still just as good. A fantastic adaptation of the classic Bill Murray film about a man reliving the same day over and over again, which managed to capture the hearts of audiences once again. While we sit and wait for them to confirm a future life for this show over here, they've been nominated for 1 category, Best Musical Revival. La Cage at Falls was the last hurrah for current Regent's Park Open Air Theatre's artistic director Tim Shearder, as he prepares to pass the role on to Drew McConey. A revival of the classic story of a father being conflicted between his love for his son and the love for his husband. This production of La Cage managed to deliver all the camp you need while not skipping out on the heart. As for awards, this production managed to get 1 nomination this year for its fantastic costume design. And now let's move on to new plays and new entertainment shows. Dear England has already broken many records with its London runs, becoming the first play in decades, if not hundreds of years, to play at the Prince Edward Theatre. It's no surprise that this play, all about Gareth Southgate's time as England manager, has become the most nominated play of the season. Now, will it do what England can't at the Oliviers and win? Dear England is up for 9 awards, including a lovely surprise nod for Ellen Kane's choreography, Best Direction, and Best New Play. Trying to rival the other huge commercial play in London that shall not be named, Stranger Things has managed to take the Upside Down and put it into the Phoenix Theatre, and has been immersing audiences into the world of the popular Netflix show. Taking you into the 50s, an era that the show has rarely explored, to tell the full story of villain of season 4, Henry Creel, otherwise known as Vecna. This production is up for 5 awards, most interestingly placing itself into Best Entertainment rather than Best New Play, a similar move to Totoro last year.
Jude St. Francis. Origins unknown, sexuality unknown, past unknown.
This Ivo Van Hove directed adaptation of A Little Life played to sold-out audiences across multiple West End houses last year. This tragedy managed to split audiences with its brutality, but clearly its cast has impressed the committee for the Olivier Awards, as it has gained 3 nominations, all in acting categories, for Luke Thompson, Zubin Vala, and James Norton, surprisingly missing out on Best New Play despite being the joint second most nominated Best New Play of this season.
That is what we will make. A new Hamlet for our time, held on our shoulders together.
Another offering from the National Theatre this season, Motive and the Cue, written by Jack Thorne, brings audiences into the dress rehearsals of the 1960s Broadway revival of Hamlet, as director John Gielgud and actor Richard Burton clash. This production has been nominated for 3 awards, ironically, Best Director and Best Actor, here for Sam Mendes and Mark Gatiss' role as Gielgud respectively, and of course, Best New Play.
The Seaview Luxury Guest House and Spa, just around the corner from this cinema. Turn left.
I promised Mum. I promised her Joan would be here.
From one Sam Mendes directed production to another, Hills of California sees him reunite with writer Jez Butterworth to tell the human story of a family of 4 sisters and their dying mother. This show is up for just 2 awards this season, a Best Actress nod for the incredible Laura Donnelly, and Best New Play. And yes, the song I just played is stuck in my head and will never leave my head until I die. The National Theatre continue to have a heavy hitter year with our next show, Till the Stars Come Down. Over the course of a hot summer's day, a family gathers to welcome a newcomer into their midst. But as vodka flows and dances are shared, passions boil over and the limits of love are tested. Till the Stars Come Down is up for 2 awards, Best Supporting Actress for Lorraine Ashford and Best New Play. The following plays have been nominated in just 1 category each, all being acting categories. The dystopian play within a fake wedding, A Mirror, has gained a nod for Best Actress for Tanya Reynolds. Clyde's, a play that run at the Donmar Warehouse, has managed to pick up a nomination for Gaz Tierra in this play about formerly incarcerated workers at a truck stop. And finally, When Winston Went to War with the Wireless, which has picked up a posthumous nomination for the incredible, late, great Hayden Gwynne. And the rest of the entertainment nominees start with Accidental Death of an Anarchist, which totally deserved a nod for Daniel Rigby too. And honestly, this also deserved a nod for The Witches, meaning he was robbed of 2 performances this season. But with that rant said, Accidental Death of an Anarchist is up for Best Entertainment or Comedy. Old Friends, a review celebrating the music of the late great Stephen Sondheim, has also been nominated in Best Entertainment. Vardy v Rooney managed to get a very shocking nomination in Best Entertainment for this verbatim play about the viral court case. And finally, Peter Pan, the Palladium Panto, has broken a streak, as it has missed out on the typical nomination that the Palladium Panto gets in Best Entertainment. However, this show has been nominated in another category, Best Costume. Finally, for this video, let's talk about the Best Play Revivals. The Donmar's revival of Macbeth starring David Tennant leads the pack with 3 nominations this year, so not as heavy as a lead as the musical revivals. This ambitious revival, playing with sound design to create a new theatrical experience, is up for 3 awards, Best Revival, Best Actor for Daveatron, and Best Sound Design. Funnily enough, another revival which features past Doctor Who actor, this time Matt Smith, who once again takes up a West End stage. This new version of An Enemy of the People is self-described as a rock and roll reimagining of Ibsen's timeless drama. Unlike Tenet, however, Smith has not gained a nomination for himself, but the production has managed to claim 2 other acting nominations.
If only I could remain always young, and the picture could grow old.
This one-person version of The Picture of Dorian Gray, led by the incredible Sarah Snook, has been wowing audiences at the Theatre Royal Haymarket. Retelling this classic Oscar Wilde tale has managed to gain them 2 nominations, one for Sarah Snook and one for costume design, missing out on Best Revival. A new production of the classic Willie Russell comedy, this Sheridan Smith revival managed to gather 2 nominations this season, a Best Actress nod for good old Sheza, and Best Revival.
Everybody here? All I do is eat, sleep, drink, repeat.
And yes, because they're very trendy this season, Vanya, a one-person version of Uncle Vanya starring Andrew Scott, is next up with 2 nominations. Similar to Dorian Gray, this has received 1 nomination for leading man Andrew Scott, but unlike Dorian Gray, this production has been nominated for Best Revival. And to end out this video, let's talk about the following plays that are up for 1 award each. The Effect is the Jamie Lloyd production that's slightly been overshadowed by Sunset Boulevard, only gaining 1 nomination, but managing to get it in Best Revival. Medeo at Soho Place has grabbed a nomination for their lead actress, Sophie Okonedo, and Plaza Suite has gained 1 nomination for half of its starry lead cast, Sarah Jessica Parker. And that is every single show that has been nominated at this year's Olivier Awards. I hope you now feel ready to watch along if you're not in the UK, because apparently we're not allowed to watch the full Olivier Awards in the UK. I guess I've got to get a VPN. But if you're in the UK, you can catch the highlight show on ITV, and if you're anywhere else in the world, you can catch the full live stream on YouTube. And if you really want to watch in the UK, I would recommend getting a VPN. If you did enjoy this video, please consider hitting like and subscribe, it really helps me out, helps out the channel. Here's some links to some other videos on screen right now, and a link to my Instagram if you want to drop me a follow over there. But that's it for me today, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!